thepascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal.
What's up? We got an interesting update revolving around Karmelo Anthony and the Austin Metcalf case. As we already knew yesterday, Karmelo Anthony's bond was dropped, reduced from $1 million to $250,000. Yes, I know. Got a lot of people upset, ruffled a lot of feathers out here in these internet streets, but it also made a lot of people very excited and very happy that he's getting out on a lesser bond. But let me just say this really quick before we go into any more information, okay, and before we take a look at this video here, okay, just a little quick trip down memory lane. It doesn't matter if he had $1 million, if it was still $1 million bond, or it was $250,000, he was still going to be able to find a way to get out. It doesn't matter if he had to pay a little bit more money or less money. The inevitable thing was that he was going to get out. So that's one thing I think is very interesting, and why and I'm still trying to understand why everybody's so super angry about this decision. It doesn't matter if it was $1 million or $250,000. His family and his team would still find a way to get him out. It may not have been yesterday, but it would eventually happen. It was inevitable, just so you guys know, just being real. But I do want to share with you guys the video real quick, just a quick clip, because we did talk about this in a previous video, but let's take a look at this really, really quick trip down memory lane.
Karmelo, do you have anything that you'd like to say to the victim, to the family of the victim? Why were you armed, sweetheart? Karmelo, why were you armed at school?
Now, from my understanding, he wasn't really armed at school. He was at a school track meet, but I get what she's trying to ask, okay? I get it, all right? But other than that, I mean, and if you haven't seen that video of him walking out of the courthouse, please go check it out. It's in the previous video from here, all right? And we are keeping a close watch on this whole Karmelo Anthony, Austin Metcalf case. As you already know, the 17-year-old Austin Metcalf lost his life at this track meet at the hands of Karmelo Anthony. That is, without question, what happened here. Karmelo Anthony did take the life of Austin Metcalf. Now the question still remains, is this actually self-defense, or is this cold-blooded M? That's the questions. Those are the questions here. But one of the things that's very interesting and very sad about this whole situation is that now a judge has to go into hiding, literally have to go into hiding because of her ruling. This judge, Angela Tucker, made the decision to reduce his bond from $1 million to $250,000. And a lot of people are feeling some type of way. So much that she had to go into social media hiding, if that makes any sense. Let's take a look at this. This is very, very interesting. And again, I keep wondering, well, why is everybody going after the judge? At the end of the day, we all have to sit back and wait for the trial and let it run its course. Karmelo Anthony's team, their responsibility now is to prove that there is, without a shadow of a doubt, self-defense here. That's it. That's the only thing they got to do. And of course, I feel like once we see more information, once we see more videos, etc., this is going to be a completely different conversation. I feel like these videos that they say that they actually have are going to show us a whole new angle. And then we can see for ourselves, right from just seeing the videos ourselves, we can sit there and see, yep, self-defense for sure. Oh, no. He really did unalive that kid. And that is very, very sad. I feel like that's what we need to do. We need to sit back and let the courts and the evidence speak for itself. Let it cook, y'all. Let it cook. But you don't need to be doxing the judge in her, just because she made a decision to reduce his bond. I mean, that's ridiculous. Then also at the same time, people are throwing out the race card as well, because Judge Angela Tucker happens to be black. Yes, I know. Everybody, they mama up in arms solely because of that, because they think that she reduced the bond because she felt bad for the black kid and has a racial bias. Hey, from my understanding, she is also a Republican as well. Whoa. Yeah. And people, of course, are sitting there saying, wait a second. And they're shocked by this situation. And of course, we've already talked about the other conservative individuals, commentators, and political pundits that are speaking on behalf of Karmelo and believing that this could very well be self-defense. Yes, because they are also the same people that were standing 10 toes down for Kyle Rittenhouse, the Daniel Penny situation, etc. All right. So again, we shouldn't be judging a book by its cover. And I believe that this judge did not make this decision solely because this kid is black. This was not on a racial bias, but people are doxing this woman. People are putting her face and her everything that she has, everything about her on social media and trying to destroy this woman just because she reduced his bond. That is wrong, in my opinion, guys. That is very, very wrong. And that is a recipe for some serious damage. Okay, that is a recipe for disaster, and I'm not here for it. And neither should any y'all be here for it as well. Okay, so it says here the judge who reduced the bond of Karmelo Anthony, okay, was forced to go private on social media after being widely criticized for her ruling. Collin County District Judge Angela Tucker set her ex account to private after she reduced Karmelo's bond from $1 million to $250,000 yesterday. And of course, we already saw him walk. We saw the walk. Okay, he walked out, but he's under house arrest now. All right, awaiting his trial. He's going to be set. He's going to have to sit his booty in his home, in his parents' home, and not be able to do anything. All right, he's going to be stuck at house arrest. So basically, he's just in jail at home. Okay. So if he ever wants to leave the house, it has to be court approved, etc. He is basically locked up at home. All right. So the judge, okay, Angela Tucker, who was elected as a Republican, has been receiving racist attacks after reducing Anthony's bond, with several social media accounts sharing her image and information as they slam the bond reduction. Again, everyone's trying to go after her now, which again, I feel is ridiculous and very dangerous. During Monday's hearing, Judge Tucker said they've never had the security issues they've faced with this case. She's done plenty of other cases that have to do with murder, plenty. And now she's sitting here saying, like, this one, though, this one's hitting different. And that is terrible. All right. Now, meanwhile, even the family, okay, Anthony's father, Karmelo Anthony's father, has even said himself that they are planning to relocate homes. Okay, they're going to use some of the money from the donations that they got, because they raised over $425,000 so far. They're planning on taking some of that money to relocate homes because they have been doxxed. They're getting harassed. They're getting very graphic and racist threats online, etc. This is insane. So they're having to move to a different home solely because of what happened here, okay, which is a tragedy again. And they're facing racist threats again since what Karmelo is alleged of doing. Here is the judge, Angela Tucker. All right. And she's like, hey, this one is hitting different. This trial, this case is a whole other story. Of course, this is Austin Metcalf. All right. So a lot of people are very much divided over this case. And you also got the judge having to basically go into hiding solely because of what of the decision that she made. That should never be the case for any judge, for any person, even the lawyers that are representing Anthony and Metcalf's families. Okay, the Metcalf family and the Anthony family, all of them should be let alone. Listen, y'all, we're in a time right now where we should be better as a people. I get it that there's a lot of heated people out here. There's a lot of passion. There's a lot of people on both sides of the fence that feel that they are in the right and what this person, what Karmelo did was right or wrong. Okay, depending on what side of the spectrum you are on in regards to this whole particular case. I get it. We all have an opinion about this. But at the end of the day, this is about what Karmelo's team is able to present. And they should be able to present it without threats, without them scared for their lives, including, let's not forget, including the judge. The judge should not be scared out of their minds to the point where they have to go into social media hiding. This is not how we do things, guys. This is not how we get whatever we see is fit for justice for Karmelo Anthony. What we should be doing is sitting back, letting them present their case, and let the judge and jury come up with the verdict, either innocent or guilty. But what say you guys? Comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. I mean, this is a very interesting one, and I know for a fact this one's going to keep on going off like a powder keg. But I also have to urge everyone to try to find some peace in your heart, calm down, and let the courts do what they do. Let the law do what they do. This kid ain't going nowhere. He is locked up at home now, and it was inevitable that he was going to get out on bond, regardless if it was $1 million or $250,000. So comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are. Hit that like button down below. Crush that subscribe button. We'll talk here soon. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild.